Okay, so here we are with step 1 of the 6 steps, and we're going to start with playing by ear. So there's no notation for this in the book, but we're going to use the audio tracks to play along with. First of all, we're in the key of F minor concert pitch. So for transposing instruments, obviously alto saxophones, you're in D, trumpets, clarinets, you're going to be in G. So concert pitch F. And the reason for that is it's a very common key for jazz musicians. So one of the things that new students like to do is, if you want to go to a jam session, playing on a blues in F is probably the most common thing amongst repertoire amongst jazz musicians. So getting very familiar with the key of F is a really good idea to start with. So we're going to work in, and we're going to learn an F minor pentatonic scale, but we're not going to start with a theory or any scales or anything like that. We're just going to start with one note, the root note F, and we're going to do some ear training. We're going to play along, and we're going to do call and response. So what you're going to hear on the track is some 2-bar phrases, and then all you're going to do is just repeat what you hear. So it's just about getting your ears tuned in to start with, and getting familiar with 2 things. One is the rhythmic language, so getting used to the rhythmic phrasing, and also the length of 2 bars. So we're really, throughout this whole process, we're working on 2-bar phrases, not 1-bar phrases. Very important, 2-bar phrases. So we're just getting used to how that feels, yeah? Okay, so let's get started. So what you could do here is obviously do this with the student. So you could both play along and with the tracks. And then after you've done some work with the tracks, what I would then do is make up your own versions. So get the students improvising straight away with the ingredients that you've worked on. So here we go. Let's just check out the track. First of all, let's hear the one note call and response. So we're just going to, okay? So you're going to just repeat. And so I've left space for you to answer. And so on, okay, and the track goes on. So that's really a good start. It's a good place to start. Then, as I said, what I would do is I would improvise some and get the student to copy me, and then flip that. So get the students to improvise some 2-bar phrases using one note, and then you copy them. So already they're improvising. They've already done it. They've overcome that initial thing. But what we're doing is we're dealing with very small steps, very manageable steps, only one thing to deal with at a time. So once you've done a little work on that, then I would introduce the next note. So we're going to play a minor third up, okay? So minor third. So first of all, obviously get them to find that note on their instrument, and then we can use the next track. So now we're using 2 notes playing by ear, yeah? Just call and response. You get the idea, okay? So there's plenty more of that on there. So again, once you've been through what's on the track, then again, I would work with the students, make up some of your own little phrases now using 2 bars, okay? So very simple, very small steps. The tracks are all come as free downloads with the books. Now the next note we're going to add is the 3rd note. We're going to play the flat 7, but we're not going to go up to the flat 7 because that's, excuse me, it's a very common problem with people that are new to improvising, from the bad habits, controversial statement coming up, alert, the bad habits of only practicing scales up and then down from the root to the root. That's a really unhelpful thing for students to learn if they want to improvise, okay? What they've got to get used to is playing from any note of the scale and also going down and then up, okay? So not just up, and it's, you know, it's just, that's how you learn them for the exams. but unfortunately that's not much help for the improviser. We've got to break away from that. So what we're going to do, we're going to add the flat 7, but we're going to go down to the flat 7. So we're also, when we're doing this, we're getting into this sense of where is home, our home key, our root note. So we're sort of using that as our reference, and then we're hearing one note above it and one note below it. So this idea of moving in any direction from that root note. So we're going up a minor third and down a flat 7th, flattened 7th. So it's a tone down. So again, find the note. And those 3 notes are great. I mean, sometimes I just use that if I want to get someone improvising and playing and messing around and creating some phrases. You can create some really nice kind of jazzy phrases just with those 3 notes. Sometimes that's enough. So let's just use the 3-note track. So we're going to use 3-note playing by ear now, and that's the 3 notes we're going to use. So we're really establishing that 7th. Ah, there's the 3rd. And so on. And again, you see, you don't have to always use all 3 notes. So quite a few of those phrases were only 2 notes, but we've got the option, the choice of 3. And I would just do lots more of that, okay? Again, make sure you make up some of your own, get the students copying you, get them improvising with the 3 notes now. So you've done 1 note, 2 note, 3 notes. That's probably enough for one lesson. In the book, we go on to the 4th and the 5th degree of the scale to build up that 5-note pentatonic. Maybe you want to add that on the next lesson, okay? So I would just, just do a lot of work on a few small things, and I find that works really well. So there we go, that's step 1. We'll move on to step 2 in the next video. Thanks very much, see you in there.